Hello, welcome to the 2026 Minecraft Build Challenge for schools in Australia. My name's Stephen Payne. I work with Standout Education as a trainer and consultant, and I've been working with schools to use Minecraft for about 15 years now. So thanks very much to the Minecraft team and Microsoft for sponsoring this build challenge, and I'm excited to give you all the details and help you get started. So what we're going to look at in this short session is what the build challenge is, how you register, the timings involved. I'll give you some tips on using the build challenge with your students, and then I'll talk about what will be judged, and the students can work along with the rubric and check things off as they go. So let's jump in. So the theme we've decided on this year is to design a Wellbeing Hub, either for your school or for your community. So that's kind of the main idea. Design a Wellbeing Hub that helps people feel calm, connected, and healthy. We're going to have spaces for calming down, connecting with others, and moving your body. So that's kind of the big idea. And then in student-friendly language, design a Wellbeing Hub that helps people feel calm, connected, and healthy. So we're going to have, each space is going to have, or each hub is going to have 3 spaces: a calm space, a quiet or peaceful place, a connect space where you can meet, talk, or yarn with your classmates or members of your community, and then move, a place to move your body, which may be exercise or dance or obstacle courses, those sorts of things. So we've kept it quite open so that it's got a accessible to all ages. So younger students could use their Minecraft skills to build. We do want to see signs or boards explaining ideas, and we really want to focus on the hub being safe and welcoming, and of course creativity. With older students, you might want to introduce coding. I'll show you a few ways that you might want to look at that. You might want to introduce redstone to look at electronics. You might want to consider AI if that's the focus in your school. We're not expecting you to create an AI agent within Minecraft, but you could talk about how AI could help to support calm, connect, and move. So before we go and look at this, I'm just going to give you a kind of an overview of some previous build challenges that have happened around the world, and then I'll show you how you can get started as well.
How might you make a city safer, greener, and more just? We asked this question to more than 3 million students across 7 cities. Then we gave them a way to bring their visions to life in Minecraft and share their ideas with the world. In the Schools Reinventing Cities Challenge, a partnership between Minecraft Education and C40 Cities, students teamed up to reimagine, design, and reinvent their cities for now and the future. They crafted green rooftops in London.
Lots of the colours of roofs have been changed to white to reflect the sun's heat and help prevent global warming.
And eco-conscious affordable housing in Los Angeles.
Our buildings are sustainable because they don't run off of fossil fuels, but instead run on solar-generated electricity. We've also created a basketball court for people and residents to enjoy.
Students thought about green energy, researching options for wind and hydroelectric power. They explored better systems for waste management.
Come down here, we see water turbines being spun by the water to generate energy, and when we come over here, we see a pump pushing the water back up when the windmill is in motion.
We have added wind turbines and solar panels on many roofs to give Croydon a more sustainable source of energy. We have added charging points in multiple car parking spaces to encourage people to use electric cars and make the air in Croydon cleaner.
To reduce waste and smell, we installed a new system of trash cans that are built underground and can be pulled out. Additionally, the street will operate under a power grid that connects the solar panels with the tram lines and street lamps.
And they added thoughtful, culturally conscious elements to help their community flourish.
We shall be adding a new mosque opposite St Michael's Church serving as a hub to the local Muslim community and promoting diversity in religion and culture.
We have also added a community garden at the center.
Top finalists will have the chance to present these reimagined cities to their mayor. Listening to these young voices is critical. One day they'll be our urban planners, architects, city officials, mayors, and residents. And their ideas will lead to a better future for all of us. Learn more about schools reinventing cities and join us.
Okay, so this video features students for a Reinventing Cities initiative that happened a couple of years ago. So it really shows you the potential of students when they're given a challenge. So the students were working collaboratively, and you can see their creativity shine through. You don't obviously have to do something quite as magnificent or intricate as some of the things we saw there. So I'm just going to show you in Minecraft now how you can really get started quite simply, particularly if you're new to Minecraft or you're working with younger students. So I've just clicked play in Minecraft. I'm going to go into the library. And for this challenge, you can use ready-made worlds. So you can go into a particular biome, or you could go and look at the community hub and build within that. Or you could even just start with blocks of grass and let the students build the different areas that they are designing. So if I go into blocks of grass, this is a nice blank field that the students can build on with any of the materials they have in their inventory. So perhaps the students are going to build with some wood, and they're going to build their calm space first. One of the things that you might want to add are posters or slates. And the big one, which is a board. And these are really good for explaining things within their world. So we might, for example, imagine we've built part of our Wellbeing Hub over here. We can just place a poster, and we can say, welcome, if I can spell, welcome to the Calm Center. And we can maybe write a little bit about what this is, things to do here, and they can just have that at their entrance. So we could have different posters, slates, boards to explain the different areas. You may want to introduce non-playing characters or have a code builder agent, and I'm going to discuss those a little bit later. But really simply, all you need is a blank world, some building blocks, some imagination, and you label what you've done, and you've met the brief. So I'm going to come back to this a little bit later on, but first of all, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the logistics. So the main things are you can register your school now. There is a website where you can register your school. All we're asking for is your school name, what state or territory you're in, a contact email for the teacher, how many teams will be entering. If you're not sure, just put a suggestion. We do suggest 3 to 5 students per team. And then if you've got any questions, you can submit those through there as well. So a nice, simple sign-up sheet, and then we will contact you with the deadline and how to submit your videos or PowerPoints or however you decide to do that. So as I said, 3 to 5 students are recommended. The challenge starts now, and we would like all of the entries in by the 5th of June, and then we will announce the winners on the 12th of June. So we've got a little bit of time at the end of term 1, and then plenty of term 2 to work on that as well. So what are you going to submit? So it'd be really great to see annotated screenshots, so you can take screenshots of what you've done and put them into a PowerPoint presentation or a Word document. You might use the camera within the game to take key shots and bring those in. You could do a short video walkthrough or a combination of the two. So however you're happy to submit your entries, you can do that, and we'll we'll accept those. So what we're going to ask the judges to look out for is make sure that the calm, connect and move zones are clearly visible. We've got signs or boards explaining what they're for, or instructions or how to use the spaces. As it's a team entry, we want to see evidence of teamwork and design thinking. So have you got different roles within the group? Who did what? All of those sorts of things. And then, of course, if you've got students who are really into Minecraft, they'll be able to do some amazing things for those zones using redstone or coding, or maybe even introduce an AI helper. We do want to keep things secure. So any information that you submit, just use students' first names if they're talking about their roles. Don't use full names. That just keeps things private. So, and anything that we don't need to see. So that's always useful to bear in mind when you're sharing things online. So that's what we want. Submissions just uploaded. Each school will be given a folder and you can just upload your submissions in there by the 5th of June and the judges will have access to those. So how can you run the build challenge? Well, there's a few different ways that you might want to approach this, and it just depends on your school, the students' interest, how many students are taking part. So you might do it in class. You might have a lesson to launch the challenge and give them time to build over 2 to 4 lessons. That's worked quite well in the past, particularly in primary schools. You might have a lunchtime club where students work over 1 or 2 lunchtimes a week. And you can then maybe suggest different student leaders work in the different zones. So you might have a larger group with 2 people working in the calm space, 2 in the connect space, and so on. You might also have after school, so students could continue working on this at home or in an after school club. And that's also ideal if they want to add in extra or more complicated extension work as well. So it's quite good if students in the team have different roles. You might have someone designing, someone planning, someone doing the non-player characters, someone doing the signs, someone taking screenshots or recording, all of those sorts of things. And always really good to plan before building. So don't just go straight in and start building your world. Think about, what does it mean to have a calm space? What does it mean to connect with others? What sort of things can we build that will make that welcoming to the community or to the school? So those are really good things to think about. I'm just going to show you a few ideas about building. I've written some of the things there that you might want to include in the build. I'm not going to go into too much detail. Students are much better at this than I am, but just to give you a few sort of starting points, I've already shown you the chalkboards. If I go back to the world I'm in, I've got a chalkboard already there. Welcome to the Calm Centre. But what you can also add in, which makes it really useful, are what are called NPCs, or non-playing characters. So if I go to my inventory and search for NPC, these are characters within the game that you can give dialogue to and even add command buttons to launch a website or to teleport somewhere or to give the student an object. So if I bring in my NPC, as it says there, you need world builder permissions to spawn an NPC. And I'm sure your students will tell you how to turn on world builder permissions, but very simply, you click /WB for world builder, and then you can place in these characters, as many as you want. Once you've got an NPC, you can right click on the NPC, you can give them a name, Calm Commander, and you can edit their dialogue. Welcome to the calm space, calm zone, explore here, and then head to the connect zone. So you can put in sort of instructions or directions as you go along. There's different types of appearance of the NPCs as well, so you can have a whole gang of them working. There we go. And if I right click, I go back to edit, but if I toggle off world builder mode, I go back into just exploring the game, and when I right click on a character, I get the text. So that's a nice way of explaining how the different parts of the zone would work or what their purpose is. What you can also do is you can add in, under advanced settings, you can add in URLs. So you might, for example, add a link to a website or to an explanation or a video, and you just type in the URL or paste it in, give it a name. So let's just do a really simple one here. Let's send people to the Minecraft site. And now when I come out of here, leave world builder mode, I get a button that links to a website. You can also add in buttons with commands to teleport players to different zones, or perhaps give the student an object, maybe a camera to take photos of what they're doing. But I'll leave that for the students to work out. So NPCs are super useful. The other thing you might want to do is redstone is very popular in Minecraft for the power in Minecraft. So you can run train tracks, you can set up lighting, you can set up pistons and all sorts of automation with redstone. So let me just show you the most basic example just to have a look. If I go into starter worlds, this time I'm going to go into a building that already exists. So I'm going to use this building community. You are welcome to use this in your builds as well. Just having a little look around. Let's go into one of these buildings. Here we go. You can see it's pretty dark in here. So you might have a space where perhaps in the calm zone where it's going to be pretty, you might want some darker spaces. You might want some lighter spaces. So there's different ways that you might do that. A very simple way that you might do that is use a redstone lamp. And you can have the lamp turn on when different things happen. So you could set up a switch, or you could set up, as I'm going to do now, a pressure plate. So I've just searched for pressure plate. And if I go and place that next to the lamp, when I walk on that, it turns the light on. So you can set up those sorts of things. You could be a bit more elaborate with redstone. That's just a really basic example. And as I said, students can definitely go a lot further with that. So definitely explore redstone if you've got really keen Minecraft players, or you've got older students. And the other thing I want to mention now is the code builder. So perhaps you're doing in the movement zone, perhaps you're doing dancing. You could actually program an agent in Minecraft to carry out the moves that you then have to follow. So if I open up Code Builder, you'll notice that when I press C, there are the commands. So C is Code Builder, T is chat. So when I press Code Builder, I get my little agent there, and I can actually write some code. So let's call this code dancing. And I can say, when I type in the word dance, I can actually program what the agent does. So I can have the agent move forward, move back, turn left, turn right, those sorts of things. So let's just say agent move back by 1 space. And then let's say agent turn left then maybe I can duplicate that by right-clicking on it. Maybe the agent turns right. And maybe I want to do that a couple of times. I can add in a loop. So here I'm just doing some basic coding. And then maybe I want the agent to jump up. So let's say agent move up, agent move down. And then we'll say agent move forward. There we go. I've written a nice little routine. So when I type in the word dance, the agent's going to follow those moves. What I could also do is combine that with a poster. So maybe I could put a poster in front of the agent. There we go. So copy my moves. Click T and type dance to watch me dance. Okay. And then I would just press T, type in the word dance, and there's his little dance. We could obviously be a bit more sophisticated with that. But that's just an example, a basic example of what you could do with an agent using Code Builder. You could also, in the move section, for example, have an obstacle course or a maze that the agent walks through. Or you could even set the challenge of writing the code to move the agent. So a few ideas there just to get you started. Okay, so what will the judges actually be looking for? I'm going to share with you the website, which has got this information and some more, but we're really going to be looking to make sure that you have a calm, connect and move spaces, so all three spaces. We want really innovative ways of showing that students can feel calm, collected, included and active. We use signs and talked about our build. And then we looking at how well we worked as a team. So we want to see evidence of teamwork. Perhaps people have signed their name on the different posters and those sorts of things. And then also bonus points if you are using some of the more advanced tools like NPCs, Redstone or Code Builder. So there's information about the rubric on the website, which I'll share the link with as well. And then finally, we are going to give prizes to the top 3 teams. So across Australia, we've got 3 winning teams and we've got prizes to send out, and we will announce those on the 12th of June. So that's kind of the overview of the challenge. Create a Wellbeing Hub with those 3 areas of calm, connect and move. So what do you do next? Well, the first thing to do is register your school. Make sure you've got Minecraft Education installed on the devices the students are going to be using. Decide how you're going to use it in school. Is it an after-school activity, or are you going to do some of it in class? And then make sure you get the submissions in by Friday, the 5th of June. So this is open to any school in Australia. And if you've got any questions or support, just email me and I'll help you out. So good luck, have fun. Looking forward to all of the amazing builds coming in a few months. Thanks, everybody.